Yes, everyone, we're doing and welcome to the post-match review for Manchester City 4, Newcastle United 0. I've not done one of these in a little while, but I tell you what a banger to come back to, eh? Well, I couldn't miss this opportunity, could I? I'm telling you now, across all social media platforms, I reckon I've spent a good 15 minutes already talking about this game. You know, the YouTube matchday vlog, the post-match review as soon as the game finished, walking home from the match, even a video posted since the game. I have already spent a good 15 minutes talking, but here's to another more 15. I weren't going to miss out on this opportunity because with this game, there was an awful lot more I wanted to speak about that I just didn't have time to after the game to fit in that video, do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's what I miss about making these types of videos, you know, on the YouTube. Now look, hear me out for the next 45 seconds to a minute speaking about my life, and then I promise you we will get into that fantastic game of Saturday afternoon. But the thing is, obviously, I've been very inconsistent on here. The matchday vlogs, to be fair, I've been posting for most games, but as far as, you know, previews or post-match reviews, I just don't have time. Do you know what I mean? I work a 9 to 5. By the time that's done, you know, as far as watching other games or spending time with the family or the girlfriend, anything, I don't have time to come in here. Never mind film, but also the editing that comes alongside it. Now look, this whole social media thing, just watching Manchester City, it sums up who I am as a person. It's my personality. I love it. Absolutely love it. But I can't make this my number one priority as much as I want to, and I will get to that stage. I'm going to keep grinding, I'll keep churning these out, and I'm going to become more consistent because I want to get to a stage where this is what I can do and I can give this my entire all. But obviously at this point I'm not ready, but we're on the way there, and I want to become more consistent across everything here, especially. So if you've not already subscribed to the channel, get behind this journey. All right, we're going to do something special here. Anyway, on to the football, on to Manchester City being Manchester City again, 4-0 against the Toon. You boys. And now look, I'm going to be honest here, the result, the performance, everything about this game came as a total shock to me. Coming into this game, I was nervous, I was scared. And it's a feeling that I've not actually been that much for City this season. As poor as we've been, I feel like the break between every single game, whether it even be a couple of days, I've just got into a mindset where I thought, hey, this game, we're going to take it to them. We're going to change. Everything's going to be better. This will be the game. This will be the turning point. And it's just never happened. And after the Madrid game and the way we collapsed in that, and it has been far from the first time that we've seen us capitulate and collapse in the way that we did. And the attack that we faced against Madrid, I came into this game thinking, look, after the injuries we picked up in Madrid, Pep was talking about how Grealish can't play, Akanji's out for the season, Nico, you know, was a doubt for the game against Newcastle. Imagine he didn't play, how different it would have been. But after all this news and the way Newcastle have been playing lately, you look at Newcastle's midfield, you know, with Tenale and Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, Joe Linton was out for them, and that was, you know, a good advantage for us. But the attack was scary. As you know, Jacob Murphy's not the biggest name, but this season he's been on it for Newcastle. He's delivered every time he's been on the pitch. Anthony Gordon is a terrifying player. He always turns up against the big six, Manchester City included. The game earlier this season at St James's Park, he was the biggest threat for Newcastle. As good as Isaac is, and he's a world-class striker, and he's been on fire this season. When it was St James's Park earlier this season, Anthony Gordon was the man for Newcastle, and I was scared of him attacking City's, you know, right-hand side, where we've had problems this season, our biggest weakness this season. And, you know, it speaks for itself, the threat of Alexander Isak. I wasn't confident. I said ahead of the game, wishful thinking, I'm hoping for the best, I'm going to go with a score prediction of 2-2. And to be honest with you, I have never been so happy to be made to look like a complete idiot, because everything I said in my video ahead of the game, when I seen the lineup, all my, you know, the weaknesses that I pointed out for City, and Gundogan in the midfield who I was scared about, and seeing no Diaz Araki in the team, and looking at Newcastle squad, everything that I went on about, it was just made redundant after about 20 minutes of football, 20 minutes of Mamouche ball. Do you know what I mean? They made me look stupid, but I was so happy to be made to look stupid. City, just from the minute dot, we came onto the pitch and we were firing from the start. We looked the complete better side. We were dominant on the ball, off the ball. It looked like old Manchester City. So look, obviously we'll go from start to finish. The first goal, Omar Marmoush. Now look, he's a player who's been exciting for City. We've not seen that much football of him. He was a January transfer window. But out of the 4 signings that we made, he was the one who was on fire in Germany. He came with a biggish reputation. You know, he's been on hot form the past 12 months. And, you know, it is always more exciting when you sign attackers, obviously. That's what football's about, goals, isn't it? And as good as he's been, his performances, you can't question. You know, whether it was against Chelsea, whether it was against Leyton Orient, he's been really good. But he's not put the ball in the back of the net. And this Newcastle game, I had a feeling actually that, this was going to be the day. I never thought he'd score an hat-trick, but I thought this will be the day. And I tell you what a way to take your first goal. Savinho, a lovely pass back into Ederson. Ederson just looks up, hoofs it up the pitch, Route 1 proper Sam Allardyce football. But Sam Allardyce's goalkeepers didn't have a twang on the kicks like that. They didn't have the accuracy, the beautiful kicking distribution of Ederson. He played it long. Omar Mamouche got the better of, was it Dan Burn? I'm not too sure. The Newcastle defender, one-on-one with the keeper, and he just lobs him. Lobs the goalkeeper, and he announces himself, said at Etihad Stadium, your first goal in a Manchester City shirt. Welcome to Manchester City. It was a beautiful moment. We're loving life in South Stand. And in that moment, I'm thinking, look, come on, City, let's respond quickly. Let's get a second goal as quick as we can. Take advantage of this momentum that we've created, attack the game. Newcastle, they didn't look great. They didn't have a great start to the game. So let's take it to them. And that's exactly what we did. Gundogan moving the ball forward nicely. A nice pass through to Marmouche. He takes the touch and he finishes it in the near corner of Dubravka's net. Dubravka, wrong-footed, tries getting down to his bottom right. Unlucky fella, you're not getting there. Marmouche, 2-0, 2 goals in the space of 7 or 8 minutes for him. I can't believe what I was watching. Marmouche, again, as I said, welcome to Manchester City. And not to repeat myself again, but after being 2-0 up, we're on cloud 9. I'm buzzing off what I'm seeing. I'm thinking, go and get a third. Capitalise, take advantage, because we've seen time and time again this season that a 2-0 advantage for Manchester City is not enough. So come on, it's nearly half time. Let's get a third. Omar Mamouche. 2 words, Omar Mamouche. Do you want me to say it again? I will. Omar Mamouche. I said it 3 times because that's how many goals he got. 3 goals for Mamouche, all in the first half. Unbelievable scenes at the Etihad Stadium. That third goal as well, it was taken beautifully. Savinho, nicely worked play, put a nice ball into the box for Marmouche, and the rest is history. Manchester City 3, Newcastle United 0. Marmouche 3, Newcastle United 0. Going into half time. And Newcastle, to be fair, look, it was the worst I've seen Newcastle play all season. But honestly, it was the best first half of football I've seen Manchester City play all season. Every single player doing the business. We didn't look under threat once. Seriously. The midfield bossing it. Defence bossing it. The attack on fire. Savinho, Haaland up front with the armband on. It was just perfect. It was a beautiful, beautiful watch. Now, in a weird way, I was just as impressed with Manchester City in the second half as I was to the first half. Now, obviously, the first half was more exciting. The goals were beautiful. Some of the attacks were beautiful. The chances we had, it could have been more than 3. But it was such a professional performance for Manchester City in the second half. It was just brilliant games management. And that was the biggest thing we've been missing this season, the game management. There's about 7 or 8 occasions where City have been 1 or 2 goals up, maybe sometimes even 3 goals up, and gone on to draw a game, gone on to lose a game because of our game management. It's not been there. But City against Newcastle, it was professional. It was a professional performance. Yeah, we got that late 4th goal, McAtee off the bench. Haaland flicks it on, McAtee finishes it off. It was great. 4-0 is a fantastic result, but the entire performance for Manchester City, it just had glimpses of everything that we've been missing this season. One of the things we've been missing, taking chances, putting the ball in the back of the net when we've got opportunities to. Look, City in front of goal this season, we've been all right in quite a few games. It's been the other half that we've struggled. But we took our chances properly. 3-0 up at half time. Just domination. When you see the opposition not playing right, or you see vulnerabilities in Kieran Trippier, who I pointed that out ahead of the game. Marmouche against Trippier, that could be one where we could target. He got dragged at half time. We took our chances, something that we've been struggling to do here and there. And when you drop even further than that into that midfield, Nico, I won't say Nico Gonzalez because he wants to be referred as Nico, even though I've just said that. But Nico in the midfield, the number 14 shirt, Pep compared him to a mini Rodri, and what a compliment. What a compliment. And he's spot on. He's hit the nail on the head there, Pep Guardiola, because Nico gave us everything in the midfield that we've been missing. Now, look, I love some of these midfielders that, at Manchester City. Kovacic, I think, has actually filled in here and there quite well. I felt sorry for Kovacic. He's been playing a role that he isn't meant to be playing. I think he's more of a box-to-box. He's more of a number 8, not a number 6. He's not a holding midfielder, is he? Gundogan definitely isn't a holding midfielder. And actually, just before I move on, I want to speak about Ilkay Gundogan, because I feel like he's been a little bit let down at Manchester City this season. And it isn't his fault. Look, I know he's come back and it hasn't gone the way we expected it. We thought we'd get the treble winning Gundogan back. He's slotting perfectly. He'd be scoring important goals in February and everything would be beautiful. Do you know what I mean? We're going to win the league. It hasn't happened for us or him. But I think he's not been helped in the sense that City just haven't been on it. The entire team realistically hasn't been on it this season. It isn't all on Ilkay Gundogan. But also, he's been asked to play so much more football than he should have been. We're bringing back a 34-year-old who's been playing for a long time, played a lot of football. His legs are, he's had a fair few injuries as well. His legs are tired. And he should have only been playing a game every week, every 2 weeks, here and there, coming off the bench when we need him. He shouldn't have had to play week in, week out, Saturday, Wednesday, which he's had to do a lot in a City shirt because of the injuries we've had. He's been playing deep because we haven't had a holding midfielder. Calvin Phillips we signed and it didn't go as planned, but we've moved on from that. Rodri injured at the start of the season. We didn't bring in a DM. We were stuck. We're playing Kovacic, like I said, who isn't a DM, in the holding midfield. Gundogan at times, alongside Kovacic, in holding midfield. Neither of them are holding midfielders. He's been having to run more, defend more, which just isn't part of his game. I don't think Gundogan has been helped. Gundogan against Newcastle with an actual holding midfielder alongside him. How good was it? That was the best game of Gundogan we've seen since he's been back. He was brilliant in the midfield. I'm pretty sure he played a full 90 as well, which is just... It was mental. He was the person I picked out ahead of the game thinking, I'm worried about him keeping up with Isaac and Gordon and Murphy and Bruno and everyone like that. I was worried about him, being a bit too slow for the game. But having Nico there alongside him, a proper holding midfielder, it allowed him to be free. It allowed him to be the Ilkay Gundogan that we once knew and loved. I mean, we're still knowing and love him, do you know what I mean? But he hasn't come back the same player. But Saturday, it was just glimpses of that player. And the point is, that's just full credit to Nico. It really, really is. Having that holding midfielder, how good was he? I was shocked. With someone that, I'll be honest, I don't watch Portuguese league football, do you know what I mean? I knew absolutely nothing about him. I just knew he was Spanish, number 14, January transfer window. I've seen that. That's enough for me. I'm Eric Laporte's back. Do you know what I mean? But I've not seen anything about him. And Leighton Orient, obviously, it didn't go great. It wasn't a great game to start in anyway. And he comes off after 20 minutes with a back injury. He's injured for Madrid. He's injured for the weekend game, as we were thinking. But Pep somehow starts him after saying he's a big doubt. He starts him and he just bossed that midfield. Total control. And obviously, defensively, he's better than Kovacic. He's better than Gundogan. Defensively, we had that bit of protection that we've not had for the centre-halves, Kusanov and John Stones. Not that they needed it, the two units, rocks, brick walls at the back. But we had that protection that we've missed. But also someone who, when he receives the ball, he looks to move the ball forward. Kovacic and Gundogan are both brilliant footballers, but they don't have that quick thinking that Nico Gonzalez showed against Newcastle. They don't have that touch, move, pass the ball, eat it forward, play Mamouche, play Savinho, play full forward. And when Kovacic has been there as the Rodri role, he's received the ball, and even if City have an opportunity for a counter-attack, it's gone sideways to Gundogan, sideways to Bernardo Silva, sideways to, Josko Gvardiol, or even back to the centre-half, the goalkeeper. It's been sideways, backwards. Nico Gonzalez received the ball. Yeah, I'm not saying he went forward every single time, but he was a forward-thinking midfielder. He played it forward more than enough times for City to put 4 goals in the back of the net. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He was brilliant. Fast thinking. Him and Mamouche worked brilliantly together. The balls he was playing through, the passing was perfect. The defending was perfect. His touch map, he was up and down like a yo-yo all over the pitch. It was beautiful to watch. And it just made me think, if we'd have had him, even off the bench against Real Madrid, and I understand Pep didn't want to risk it, and I completely get that. You don't want injuries. Maybe if he'd have risked it and he'd have brushed him too soon, we wouldn't have even seen that on Saturday. But I just think if he was fit for Real Madrid and we just had him for the last 20 minutes, we'd go to the Bernabeu with a 2-1 win. I honestly believe that, because like I've been going on about, I think we'd have managed the game much better against Real Madrid if Nico was there in midfield. Even alongside Kovacic, I think the defence in John Stones and Diaz they'd have been a lot more protected. I'm not saying they need a lot of protection in most games, but Vinicius Junior killing Mbappe, you know what I mean? I think they just give us that extra bit. Nico, I think he'd have done it for us. I think we'd go there with a win. So yeah, it wasn't meant to be anyway. But against Newcastle, honestly, as far as the first game at the Etihad, we've seen very few debut to the Etihads like that. Honestly, he was just unbelievable. Ran the show, outstanding. And then while we're at it, speaking about our winter signings, let's touch on the third one. Kusanov at the back. Now, he was a player that looked nervous against Chelsea. He's shown it 5 minutes into the game. As far as the first 10 minutes at the Etihad, it was a disaster. And I don't want to put that as harsh as that, but that's what it was. He made a mistake. He picked up a yellow card. He looked nervous. He didn't look like he was ready. But if you compare the man that we've seen against Newcastle to the man that we've seen 2-3 weeks ago against Chelsea, it's light and day. It's sun and moon. Do you know what I mean? It's blue and red. It was mental. It was just a complete difference. Someone who looked so calm on the ball, calm under pressure. His passing was perfect. So fast at the back. His recovery pace, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So I think John Stones alongside him as well. I thought Stones was excellent against Madrid and against Newcastle. He was superb. We've not seen Stones back in the team that much. Obviously, as soon as he's been back, he's picked up an injury every time. It's felt like it's been horrible. I just wish that John Stones has an end to the season, the next couple months, injury-free, because we could have a very, very strong end to the season and have a good chance at winning some silverware, saving the season. If John Stones stays fit, I truly believe that. So yeah, following that game, where does that leave us in the Premier League table? I'll tell you where it leaves us. Top 4, baby. Champions League football position. That's where it leaves us. Chelsea on the Friday night got battered by the Seagulls. Got shat all over by the Seagulls, you know what I'm saying? Ran all over, 3-0 to Brighton. And then Nottingham Forest as well. Obviously, they're third, but they lost to Fulham. City playing Nottingham Forest in a few weeks. If we beat them, I'm just saying, City could push for third here. How mental is that? The position that we were in earlier this season, the massive, massive losing streak that we were on. City managed to finish third and have a good chance at winning silverware this season. Then Pep Guardiola, you deserve an award, is what I would say. Because honestly, that for me would be a brilliant season. The position we were in to finish with silverware and top 3. You mad? That's a fantastic end of the season. Guardiola, credit. I mean, it's not happened yet, Jesus, but you know what I'm saying? We're in a good position. We're lining ourselves up well. Wow, I'm getting carried away, aren't I? Now, look, as far as players' fitnesses, Jack Grealish obviously wasn't part of the squad. He's probably still not going to be ready yet for Wednesday. Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz. I'm hoping and praying that them two there they were just rested. Do you know what I mean? They were just rested. I'm not sure why you not put them in the squad at all if they were just resting, but I'm just going to believe for my own sanity that it was just resting them and they are going to be fit for Madrid. So yeah, that's that. Obviously, Haaland, he limped off towards the end, got substituted, but he's posted a picture of him eating a steak. He had the armband on. He's fine. Erling Haaland's fine. Fabrizio said he's fine. So he should be fine for Wednesday. Look, I'm not saying we'll go into that Real Madrid game and win at the Bernabeu. I'm not saying we'll go there, stick it on them and get through. I'm not saying that 1 minute. You know what I mean? It's going to be a big, big task. But we have set ourselves up nicely. That win against Newcastle is give us every bit of confidence to just believe. All you need to do is believe that you can do something there. And look, the pressure's off us. Do you know what I mean? It's on them to hold on to the win. City, you've got nothing to lose. Let's go and give it them. But anyway, rather than making this a half-hour long video, I'm going to make a separate one strictly on that Real Madrid match. That'll be out tomorrow. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to be more consistent on here, get more previews out, get more match reactions out, as well as the match day vlogs. I want to do something serious here. So follow the journey, like I said. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. How good was City? Let me know in the comments. I don't need you to let me know. I know how good we were, but let's just interact in the comments. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for the Madrid preview. Come on, City.